Okay, it's still a little bit hectic here. Um, so I had to do something that I had to do before the class. So let me just get where we are and we will begin today. Okay, reading from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Volume 2, Chapter 2, Text 129. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Gopkumar Uvacha Tatrutva Tattvagatva Tam Mahapurusham Ikshitam Japam Kurvam Stapoloke Nivishtonta Samadhina. Sri Gopkumar said, hearing this, I wanted to go to that planet and see the Mahapurush seated on Tapaloka. I chanted my mantra and focused my attention in samadhi. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksuran Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So greetings from Govardhan. One second. Just to put everything in context quickly, Sanatana Goswami is trying to explain Lord Chaitanya's mission by writing a book for the world. And it's so challenging because he's trying to explain what Lord Chaitanya came to give, which is the Swabhakti Swayam, which is God's own love for himself, which is the love of the gopis, Srimati Radharani at the height of her love. It's a love that even Krishna can't even reciprocate. It's so powerful. And somehow by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he wants to give this to the world. Lord Chaitanya's mission is to taste this and then distribute it. And he prays and he comes up with this, channels this incredible story where Maharaj Parikshit is summarizing the Bhagavatam to his mother after he had heard it. And the summary of the Bhagavatam, which is also the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is how Sanatana Goswami is going to explain Lord Chaitanya's mission, comes in terms of two stories. One, of Narada Muni looking for the topmost recipient of Krishna's mercy. And it has this kind of progressional presentation. Narada Muni going from one devotee to another devotee, which parallels the Bhagavatam, which presents bhakti in progressional stages. You know, like you have Prahlad who's meditating, and better than Prahlad is Hanuman who's serving, and better than Hanuman is serving is the Pandavas who are, you know, so it's got this, all with the objective to give us the purity and understanding to understand the love of the gopis for Krishna. It's very sophisticated, incredible literature, and this group here has been with me. I have a little audience today too, so it's kind of been, and then after she hears the first beautiful story about the topmost recipient of Krishna's mercy, Uttara wants to hear more. And Marge Prickett continues. And he says that it's best that I tell you in this story form that best illustrates it. And it's the story of a Mathura Brahmin who's worshiping a deity of Devi, who in a dream gives him this mantra, which impels him to look for God, but not exactly knowing where he's going, but somehow by the transcendental system, which goes throughout this whole book. The transcendental system is God is in our heart, and karma, our destiny, and the super soul within the heart has this kind of team to kind of give us the experiences we need to evolve ourselves, hopefully, to this higher understanding. And in terms of our understanding, it goes to the level of the highest, most spontaneous love of Braj, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. So the second story is about this Mathura Brahmin who finally winds up in Vrindavan and meets this cowherd boy who somehow is, we find out, is sent by Srimati Radharani. So there's also this kind of story that goes on behind the scenes, that in our journey, God is looking at us and kind of sending us what we need and rooting for us to actually make the right choices, to go to the right destination and the different experiences we have. And as everyone knows, our whole life is a drama of things we learn and experiences. As Rumi said, when God is digging a ditch to throw us in, he's actually digging a well to quench our thirst. So this whole, so what's happening now is this story, because, and actually what Uttara wants to know specifically, she really wants to know, she heard about the topmost recipient of Krishna's mercy, but she wants to know the place. And there's this correlation between the place and the consciousness of the persons that either go to the place or make the place. So when you want to understand Braja Bhakti, which is manifest eternally from God's heart, there's a place that facilitates it. And when you understand the place, you can understand the consciousness. Now I'm embarrassed her. Just like when I go into your place and I see all the flowers and this incense that's like so fragrant. I don't know how you keep it. You must burn it all day. Yeah. But the fact is, I can understand something about you. So there's a correlation between place and consciousness. So understanding Vrindavan is very important in understanding Braja Bhakti. I think I'm going to talk to people here because they're my neighbors. I don't think that we could understand Vrindavan, Braja Bhakti so well until you're here. And you see the people and the places, and it kind of gives you a flavor. So it tells the story, and so Gop Kumar tells us, Mathura Brahman, that generally speaking, one never tells a story where he's the hero, because it's too much ego. Even in drama, it said, really, I read this in this one verse where it says that drama is the most important thing in bhakti, chanting, hearing, and drama. There's a verse. And it's a fact. If you look at higher consciousness, there's Rupa Goswami wrote these dramas, Alita Madhava, Rupa, a drama means also poetics. It says that, it's great to be in Krishna Lila, but don't play Krishna. Because it's not the bhav you want. So the same thing, you don't want to tell your own story, except if your story is instructive. So Gop Kumar tells a story because it parallels, he meets this guru, Jayanta, who he's a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, in Boma Vrindavan. He's a cowherd boy, and he meets Jayanta, and this guru gives the mantra and then disappears because he's so in ecstasy. But you see these three or four, five key components, because Gop Kumar, the first book is showing what the tattva is, the second book is how to attain it. And through Gop Kumar, we see these things. One, fixedness in Guru, fixedness in the mantra that Guru gives you, and Lobha Mayi, the greed that you have in your heart to attain Krishna. And I was in discussion with a god brother, and he was describing this term. And he said that he was describing it in Raganuga Bhakti. There's two things. One, you may know your specific relationship with Krishna and go to a higher destination. And then he gave me another term called swacha, which is transparent, where somehow you're attracted to Braj Bhakti, and when you see, there's Mother Yasoda, how nice to be that. Oh, there are the cowherd boys. Oh, how nice to be that. Oh, there are the gopis, how nice to be that. But to have that basic Bhagavat Sarup Gyan, which means the form of God which you want to attain, Radha Krishna, and Sambandha Visesh Gyan, which is the particular relationship that you want, which is, we want to serve in the mood of the residents of Vrindavan, and it may become specific, and especially people who have some of that from their past life, then maybe in this life, they may get like this real specific type of lobha or greed. So Gop Kumar tells his story where he mantra, and his guru tells him, I'm giving you the Supreme Lord. So he gets the mantra, and he knows the mantra is to realize the Supreme Lord. And he has attraction for his mantra. He has attraction for the mood of his mantra. But he doesn't yet really know this. He's not educated. So he doesn't really know, like, specifically how that the form of God that takes specifically. He has some Madan Gopal. He's chanting a mantra. And it says in Bhakti Sandarbha that our practice is called sadhana kram. Sadhana kram means step by step. So you become attracted to the name. And then after becoming attracted to the name, gradually the name invokes the form. And then gradually, as you become attracted to the name and the form, it invokes the qualities of Bhagavat Swarupa, the form of God. And eventually, the Leela, which includes the parikars or associates, when you chant the name, it spontaneously comes. And then you become attracted to how those associates are serving God, and you may become attracted to one of them, and then you start to cultivate that, as Srila Rupa Goswami says. So what's happening with Gop Kumar is he really, his guru gives him a mantra and he becomes fixed on that. It's the real initiation. It's not just a formality. It's the real commitment. You know, like it says in initiation is panch samskara. The first is tapa. Tapa means kind of remorse. You know, I led the material life. Now I want the spiritual life. And that real commitment. So he seems to have that, and he seems to have attachment to the mantra. And by that, he seems to have a flavor of devotion. And he begins to search. And by the transcendental system, God is directing him to one place after another. And each place is a more full revelation of God. Just like a person is a stranger. Then a person may be an acquaintance. Then a person may be a friend. Then a person may be a lover. Same person, higher and higher revelations of the same person. So in that same way, he's going to one place after another, and he becomes attractive because there's God at each place. There's a manifestation of God, and he becomes really attracted and really absorbed. But because he has that flavor of the mantra, the Gopal mantra, it's kind of like a higher taste that never can be completely satisfied there. So even though he's ecstatic in each place in the form of God, and you can see his qualities, he doesn't want to see anything else. He feels separation from when that form of God leaves. It's that mantra and the flavor of that mantra. And I just give a simple thing. When I'm in New Jersey, stay there with Tota Gopinath. On Sundays, sometimes there's a South Indian temple, and it's on a couple of acres, and it's quite beautiful. And it has where the devotees, a South Indian kind of restaurant. It's definitely, in terms of decor, Indian South Indian. It's not like, you know, it's just regular tables and things, and different people volunteer cooking, but we go there and we go first to the temple. I told this story. They have about 15, 20 different deities, and you feel really happy. I'm in New Jersey, and you're really happy to see Krishna, but in that heart is Braja and your mantra. So you can be happy only for a certain time until you feel you want to see Krishna. So what happens here with Gopakumar, he's got up to the stage of Tapaloka, and he becomes a little disheartened because they're tapasvis. And tapasvis, they appreciate God. It's not a mood of service. It's a mood of appreciation. It's like when I went to the Himalayas for the first time. I had the image of something high, but it's ranges of mountains. And you know, I went in the summer and it's so beautiful, and you feel so awe-inspiring, so appreciative. But it's not like a mood of so much service. It's like, you know, it's so appreciative. So the Tapasvis are like that. They like to sit like this, and they like that greatness of God fills their hearts, and these are the all-star Tapasvis. They're like the top, and they're really deep. But Gop Kumar is like a Brajavasi. It's like they're a little bit wild. They want to go like this and this, and speak loudly, yeah, everything. It's a different mood. So he's kind of attracted because it's God, and he's so pious and so determined. But after a while, even though he feels he wants to leave, and then they preach to him, don't try to see God externally, but actually the real perception is in the heart. And then they show that their meditation is so deep within the hearts that their inner vision presents itself externally wherever they look, to the extent that the four Kumaras are such advanced meditators that their bodies turn into those forms of God. I don't know how this works. Maybe a little soul inside is, it's like a deity. Their own body becomes a deity, but they don't identify the body as themselves. But their body becomes the deity, and their soul, whatever it is. And then he stayed there, and he was happy. He resided there happily, but not completely satisfied when he's remembering like Braja, and this kind of mood. He's not completely satisfied. And then Lord Brahma comes through, and the Tapasvis start worshiping him as the most venerable, the most opulent, the most reliable of all authorities. And he's giving blessings to the Kumaras and smelling their head. That's kind of something like affectionate from a parent or something. And giving them intimate instructions. And then Gop Kumar says, basically, I'll use my local vernacular, I'll translate it into Brooklyn. Who the hell is this? What? Who's this guy over here, And they're laughing at Gop Kumar because how can you not, he's just a simple coward. How can you not know who Lord Brahma is? That's like, you ask anybody in the world if they don't know who Trump is. Any country. They don't know, as much as he sucked out the energy of every place in the universe and is so expert at holding the headlines everywhere, he's nothing compared to Lord Brahma. And they explain on his planet, the qualification for his planet is Sata Janma Kriti Shuddha Swadharma. Taking pure Dharma for 100 births, then you can go to that planet. So it's like a very high passport. So the people there. And within the Brahma's place, there's an enclave, like there's like an embassy of the spiritual world where God, I think Mahavishnu resides. And and Brahma himself, he's like the son of God. Well, you ever heard of the son of God? This is where it comes from, Lord Brahma. He's like the son of God, and therefore said to be non-different. It's like kind of like a Jesus Christ, the son of God, it's that difference in non-difference when someone is empowered by God and represents God. You can't, so hearing this, and that's where we'll start today, what happens when he hears this. So after hearing it, he wanted to go. Ikshitam, to see. And what did he do? Jabam. And he situated himself, Navishta Anta Samadhina. Internally, by trance, he focused on his mantra. And actually, we learned before that he was so fixed in his mantra that the Tapasvis were actually quite impressed with him, that how much he can achieve by his sambandha. See, there's his jnanic, there's his understanding, this is good, and they have so much power. But he has a natural attraction to his mantra. Yogi nam api sarvesham madgyatena taratmanam shradhavam bhajate yomam. So of all yogis, one who worships me with faith and devotion is the highest of all. So the sambandha by the heart is the highest yoga. Your connection with an object of meditation by your relationship is higher than by your understanding. So he was able to achieve a lot. And then, muhurtam anantaram, dristi, after a moment, he opened his eyes, and what happened? He saw he was in Brahmaloka, and right before him was the blessed Lord. So it's understood how powerful mantra is, especially this Gopal mantra, which we do get at Diksha. This Gopal mantra, if chanted properly, can fulfill one's desires. So he was so adept that when he would go into his trance and focus on his mantra, then immediately he was able to go there. And then he saw what he looked like. Srimat Sahasra Bhuja Shirsha Padam Mahantam Nilam Buddhabam Anurupa Vibhushanadhyam Tejo Nidam Kamalanabam Anantabhoga Talpe Shayayam Ikalakshi Manobiramam. He was huge, with thousands of divine arms, head, and feet. So it's like overpowering. He had many, many arms. And he resembled a dark blue cloud, so that Shama, the monsoon cloud. But this is it's blue, but it's transcendental blue. It's another thing. And he's richly adorned, vibhushanam, with ornaments, rubies, diamonds, rings, and pearls. Just all those ornaments. But the ornaments in the spiritual world, they're conscious. Like Radharani is Mahabhav Sarup. She's the form of this energy of love. And her ornaments are not different from that because it's for the pleasure of Krishna. So when Krishna sees those ornaments, they're made for his pleasure. So God's ornaments are made for our pleasure. So they're made of God's love for all living beings. So they have a certain type of energy. It's just like if it's Mother's Day and you have a loving mother and you bring some beautiful flowers, she sees your love in the fragrance, in the color, especially if I want to pick out the best flowers, the best garland for my mother. She sees your love in that. So, and he was an ocean of brilliant effulgence. So there's like an effulgence. It's trying to give you what it means to actually see this Aishvarya, this opulence of God manifest, which is also a manifestation. It's also effulgent. And his navel was beautiful like a lotus. I don't know what that means. And lying on a bed of Anantasesha, he enchanted everyone's mind and eyes. Just You ever see something so beautiful, it just puts you in a trance. You're just not even on an intellectual platform. You're just in a bob. It's just absorbed your mind. So he's just like, so Gop Kumar all of a sudden is seeing that, and naturally he thinks that it is, but it's not the full revelation, but it is the Lord of God's, my guru said, this will give you this is the Lord of the universe, but you have to realize it. So he's looking for it externally. So he sees. Although he is huge and formidable, his beauty is supremely attractive. As the God, and then what's also attractive is not just the form, but the relationship. Because a person's beauty is not just their form, it's their love. Even physically, I've seen this. There's two types of karma. That one person may be very, very beautiful, and it may be a karma to control the world. And another person is pious. They're not lusty. They're pious, and their beauty is to kind of please the world. So consciousness can form beauty for exploitation, and it can form it for service. So when you see God, you understand that his beauty is not just to control and enjoy, although he's the controller and enjoyer, but it's for love. So as the goddess of fortune Lakshmi massaged his feet, he glanced at Garuda, who stood before him with joined palms. Lord Brahma worshiped the Lord with opulent offerings, and in turn the Lord amply gratified him. So the Lord, I remember when I was having classes in Vrindavan, my good friend Arjuna used to come, the Godfather from Little Italy, Vaishnav. What?
Oh, that's
You
from
never,
the movie.
you never heard of Little Italy?
I heard that you said Godfather. I thought it's from the movie.
Yeah, I have a godbrother who he grew up in Little Italy, and he Prabhupada used the same bank that he used to go to. So he used to come to my class, and he used to like in one purport by Prabhupada it said Krishna is responsive. So it's so beautiful. He's responsive, and he gratified him. He reciprocates with the devotee. Lord Mahapurush was also attentive to Narada's displays of loving devotion. So Narada is also there, who's the son of Lord Brahma. So he's not only beautiful, but he's loving, and he's reciprocating in different relationships. And Gop Kumar is seeing this. And Narada is there with the Veena singing songs and doing bhajans. And Brahma, it's his son, so his hands on his head. So he's seeing this, and it's very, very attractive. And not only that, Maharahasyam Nigamarta Tattvam Svabhakti Margam Kamalasanaya Shanai Vidyo Padishantamantar Nijalaye Drasya Virajamanam. The resplendent Mahapurush, again, that resplendent, shining, beautiful. Within his most excellent residence, he has his own abode, instructed Brahma, who sat on a lotus beside him. The Lord patiently explained to Brahma, step by step, the greatest of mysteries, the essential truth of the revealed scriptures, the path of devotional service to himself. So Bhakti Marg. He's explaining him the Bhakti Marg, and not only is he explaining it to him, he's instructing him, but he's doing it step by step. Maharasyam Nigama, the revealed scriptures, very confidential. The Artha Tattvam, the real valuable truths of bhakti. Shanai, very mode of goodness, very systematic, explaining to him. So Gokumar's seeing this. He's seeing someone beautiful. He's seeing someone relating with all types and showing affection by explaining bhakti step by step, very, very affectionately. So he's watching all this, and confidentially, because you speak to someone according to their frame of reference and according to their faith in you. Because if you're going to explain things that are confidential, confidential means within you. Come on in, come in. Hi, Bo. What's that? Okay, take the tiffin. Okay, this, yeah.
600 rupees, two tanker.
What?
Two tanker on.
Okay,
600.
Bud Bay, because I'm giving class. You come tomorrow, okay? You see, this is the joy you get. 2 tankers came of water, and now I have to, at the end of my life, I become a householder. I'm taking care of a house here now. The person who assists me, he's Ranjan Swami's disciple, so I'm learning how to turn on our mystery secret tank when the water goes off, and how the generator breaks, and how, I believe it or not, I learned how to put a SIM card in a phone. I never knew before.
SIM card, yeah.
I never knew. Because I had this.
You don't need it anymore, you don't need SIM card.
No, I had this router, right?
Yeah.
And I thought this was the most technologically advanced. But somehow it wasn't working, and I called up this person who assists me. He knows everything about everything. He said, Maharaj, it's like using a cassette player. Just take the SIM card out and put it in your phone, and you'll have a router. That's the way people do things. I said, SIM card? How do you do SIM card? Where do you get SIM card? I'm looking on the phone. What's a SIM card?
Please, next time, call me, Maharaj.
What? Well, I did call someone that came, and they got a pin and they stuck it in a hole and it came out. And then I have this SIM card of my American phone, which I'm going to lose for sure. And
I used to be a IT person, so I could.
okay, but now it's on the phone. And it works. Oh no, because the router was based on the electricity, and because the inverter broke. When the electricity goes out, we don't mind now because it's not that hot. You don't need the AC. So I would be screwed if I'm giving a class and the electricity went out. So he said, just put it in your phone.
Yeah, and then you can.
Then you always have the charge. So there we go. So now we're just laughing because.
And now the new phones don't have SIM cards. They call eSIMs. You only get a number, and that's the number is the SIM card.
Yeah,
No
no, it's
physical.
way better.
No physical SIM cards.
Okay. Well.
So you could leapfrog.
I'm always like behind. But I'm just saying it's funny because what we do here is we have a worker that comes for 1 hour at 5 o'clock after his other job. So he does things. And what he does better than anything else, in the morning, he brings me a tiffin with 4 Gisok Brijbasi rotis, which is basically what I'm eating here, and the sauerkraut that you gave me. So, hearing these matters, four-headed Brahma, overwhelmed by a vast treasure of transcendental joy, quietly repeated and agreed with each point he was taught, and then offered his respects again and again at the feet of the Lord. So now he's seeing the student. The student is what? Hearing these things. Pramodha Sampat, they were overwhelmed by the asset of joy. And I'm experienced, I study every day with Niranjan Swami at 3:30 for an hour. We feel that the assets of joy, when you go deeply into the Shastra and you peel deeper and deeper realizations with a qualified person, you share it. And then what he does, although like that, he quietly repeats what he learned to Brahma. Look at the, from the Lord. Brahma's learning from the Lord, so he's quietly repeating, because parental affection or superior affection, guru affection, is instructions. That's how love comes down, is the instructions. So he's quietly repeating and agreeing with each point he said. Yes, I understand this, I understand this. And then, Muhu Abhivandamanam, and again he's offering respects. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Gop Kumar is seeing this, it's so attractive. But because of that damn mantra that gave him Braja Bhakti, it's as he can never fully feel completely satisfied, because he knows there's something more. After relishing the wonder of the Supreme Lord speaking intimate instructions to his devotee, Gop Kumar turned his attention to Brahma, whom he saw receiving the lessons with great ecstasy. To show understanding of the Lord's word, Brahma dutifully repeated each point, confirmed that he agreed completely before the Lord continued with the next. So, bhakti means you have to be thoughtful. Thoughtful means you have to raise your doubts. Not that you question the truth of what's spoken by the teacher, but you question your own understanding of it. And if you don't, you may be accepting something faithfully that you have misunderstood. So your faithfulness is not enough. It has to be thoughtful also. Otherwise, we see so many people accepting faithfully and have a cult-like understanding of spiritual life. And even if it doesn't satisfy their conscience, their worldview, etc. It may be your worldview is wrong, you have that, but you get it cleared. Or maybe your conscience, you're accepting something almost immoral because you don't really understand the depth of what's speaking about it, and then you get. I remember one time Borijan Prabhu and Gopi Pranadhana went to Prabhupada's appearance. There's not that many people there at that time because that's during the summer, right? And they were listening to the lectures. So Hari Sari was there, and he presented Prabhupada as like the corporate head of ISKCON. He's like, at that time, Prabhupada was like the corporate head, the Acharya of ISKCON. And then, Iyengar was speaking of Prabhupada in Manjari Bhav. And Gopi Pranadhana and Borijan are looking at each other, so they're speaking about the same person. So people filter things and understand things, different aspects, but also they can get things wrong. In the name of religion. So Brahma, as a student, he repeats each point to see that he agrees with it completely. Then Mahapurush went to the next point. When the lesson was over, Brahma profusely thanked the Lord Brahma couldn't bow because he's sitting on the lotus, but he like joined his thing. It's very difficult to bow sitting on a lotus. You have to fall over the thing on the floor. So Lakshmi saw that by the force of ecstasy, I had fallen into a swoon, so she coddled me like her own son to restore me to consciousness and then brought me to the side of her husband. So Gop Kumar is speaking about himself, and Lakshmi saw him that he had fainted, so she treated him like a son, and she touched him with her cooling hand. She sprinkled water on it to bring him back to consciousness. So Gop Kumar has so many spiritual qualities. He has so many spiritual qualities, Gop Kumar, but he doesn't yet have full understanding. But the heart is carrying him in the right direction, and his faith in his guru's instruction, and gazing at the Supreme Lord, and he's bowing, and he told my mind, today you have attained the ultimate fulfillment of all your desires. Be steady and joyful. And then these verses will come where Gop Kumar begins to preach to his own mind how this is such a great place. And he's just overwhelmed with how great this place is. There's no place better than this. And, you know, he said, give up your grieving and separation about the cows in Braja. You know, if you can be pampered like Brahma, and you can achieve by the power of mantra taught by you. And then, anyway, you know, and he lived there happily for some time, but it wasn't his ultimate destination. So God will bring him there further. Okay, Jamuna Jaya, are you still there? You started to
No,
teach her.
she had to leave.
What?
She had to leave.
Oh, okay, Gail,
Yeah. You know,
you're on.
just now you said that, well, you said a couple of things. One is that Gop Kumar, he fainted, and who was it who told him, you know, don't worry about, you know, just don't worry about the Lord, just, what was it?
No, he was thinking in his mind.
He was thinking in his mind that he should just,
You mean forget the cows?
yeah, who said just forget about the cows, and who said that?
In his mind, he was thinking, I've made it. This place is so great. Maybe I should just forget about those cows. Because every time I try to get ecstatic about some place, then I can't stay steady because I'm attached to those cows. So maybe I'll forget about this. So that's the next story, but he can't forget about it.
So he's on Satyaloka, no? Lord Brahma's
He's on Satyaloka, and after Satyaloka, he's going to go to Mahakalapur, the place of liberation. And it's very difficult, the place of liberation, because you give up all your problems. We all have problems here, right? Everybody has some suris. Tsuris, suris. Yiddish, troubles. Everyone has some troubles. So imagine all your troubles are gone. And you're just, no, John, you get stuck in liberation. We don't want peace. We want Braja Bhakti. We want drama. We want crying and separation. But you get caught in the abode of liberation. So he'll go to Mahakalapur.
Yeah, because the emotion of separation is stronger than just like nothingness.
Well, it's like it's gone. You know, all those heavy things on your head right now, they're just taken off. And you're floating in the ecstasy of Brahman. He almost gets caught there.
can ask a question, Maharaj, you can work after this.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, definitely. Okay,
You know, Maharaj, you were just about to explain what confidentiality means when your SIM card dealer took the front.
I said confidential means there's things that you understand, that you have a frame of reference for, that you don't want to bring publicly because people don't have the ability to understand them. And when people understand something about you, but misunderstand something about you, it's very painful.
Yes.
So you don't bring confidential things unless the person has so much love you can share your heart fully.
You know, Maharaj, when you were describing, you know, like when you go to that temple, when you're visiting with Tota Gopinath,
You like to
you
come
know,
with us one day, Gail?
of course, of course. I've been there
Okay.
one time, you know, but I would love to go again.
You can bring back some South Indian prasadam for Joseph.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoyed the food there also. But you know, when you were talking about that and how, you know, it doesn't, you know, although it's so nice, you know, it doesn't like fully satisfy you. And so I was thinking of that analogy that we often hear in Krishna consciousness of our being like that lost kid who, you know, lost his mom and stuff. So he's taken to the police station, so they give him a lollipop or an ice cream cone. And so he's satisfied for a little bit, but then he still wants his mom, you know.
Oh, that's a great analogy, Gail. That's a perfect analogy. I'm going to use that when I speak with Niranjan Swami.
Okay.
By the way, when he met your daughter, right,
Uh,
and she introduced herself as Gail's daughter, that gave her so much. You're Gail's daughter, Niranjan Swami said. You're like famous, Gail. You're Gail's daughter? Yeah.
well, we have our own little Russa.
Well, I'm watching all these videos of your daughter dancing with her partner.
Yeah, who knows what that means?
Well, who knows? Okay, Gail, thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Paul, you have a question?
Yes, Hare Krishna Maharaj. First, I want to say that really sunk in me that what you said about making our inner world so strong
Yeah.
that we can project that to the outer world.
Well,
everywhere we go.
it was the Tapasvis
Yeah,
who had that ability.
yeah,
Their meditation was so powerful that they would see it externally.
yeah. In a sense, like if you keep the Vrindavan in your heart and you go anywhere you go, you could.
That's true. I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you a very confidential story. One time, when we were going to Narayan Maharaj, I don't know, the GBC somehow kicked us out of Vrindavan. So, but we went to see Narayan Maharaj to tell him that we weren't going to see him for some time. And he told us, he said, well, if you're in New York, I don't know how he knew this. He said, and you see the Jamuna, you see the Hudson River, and you think of the Jamuna, and you offer your prayers to the Jamuna in Vrindavan will accept the prayers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know the matter, yeah. And the question I wanted to ask is, one of the highest states that we're trying to achieve is to see the God behind everything in the world, that we to understand, to have understanding behind everything is God.
The highest understanding?
One of that. And then,
Well, I mean, when you're free from illusion,
yeah,
the illusion means Maya. Maya means not this. it's not separate from God.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're free from Maya or illusion, you see everything in connection to God.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, Prabhupada said, at that state, you're thrilled at every moment.
And here's the question then: if that's the case, then how can you experience separation? If you're in that high state that you understand that God is everything and you are God, you're surrounded by God, you're always God is.
Okay, so you're asking, in that kind of state of consciousness, how can you feel separation?
Yeah.
I'll bring it to the highest platform. When the gopis are with Krishna, they don't own Krishna because Krishna, they don't own Krishna. No, when the gopis come to Krishna, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't own Krishna because Krishna is not their husband, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now their husbands, they're always their husbands. Whether they're with Krishna or not, there's no legal boundary, there's no obligation for Krishna. Well, their husbands are obligated, they're married.
Uh-huh.
So when they're with Krishna, they always feel that I could lose him at any moment, that I have to go back. So even in union, there's that type of separation.
You're always surrounded. You are inside of God. God is
On one level, you're inside God.
God is next to
It's
you.
God, it's God's energy, but it may not
It's
be.
a personal, it's about personal relation.
What's that?
Oh, right.
But that's the difference between Vishnu and Krishna, right? Like Krishna is personal.
More
relationship,
personal.
Right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more personal. It's different.
Right.
It's different than I think being
You have
thinking
that.
about that.
It's a sense that yes, God is everywhere, right? It's coming from God. It's got to. It still invoked the separation of something more personal.
Yeah. Personal. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll see God. Yes, this is God. Just like you have karma. Yes, this is God. This is coming from God. This is God's energy.
For the person, you would like.
But yeah, Mayata tamidam sarvam jagata. By my energy, I'm pervaded everywhere, but I am not in them. This is the ninth chapter. The most confidential knowledge is God is everywhere without defect. He's everywhere, but he's not impersonal. So he's everywhere, but he doesn't have the defect of impersonality. So still there's the personal aspect. Okay, anybody else like to say hello or make a comment? I'm going to look at the list of people.
I have a second question.
Hare Krishna,
What?
Gurudev. This is Yavat Sundari. Thank you very much for the
Haribo.
class.
Nice to hear from you.
Thank you very much.
We'll do after, we'll talk more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Who's that? Anybody else say hello?
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj. Thanks for your class.
This is
I'm
Yabe.
Sunya Radhika here.
This is Surya Radhika.
Yeah.
Eating. What are you eating?
Sorry. I was a bit hungry. I had a piece of apple. Sorry.
You're down in Florida. You're eating apples. You should be eating sun-kissed oranges, navel oranges, mangoes,
Yeah.
tropical fruit. And you're eating it. You want to eat apples? You come and live in New York. Okay. Haribo.
Thanks, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Narmasaki is here. Thank you
Narmasaki,
for the
Haribo.
class. Haribo,
One
thank
day
you so much.
you'll again be graced with your presence here. Your friend Vrajadevi is coming. Your
I'm
friend,
praying.
your friend Jamuna Pavani is coming.
Yeah.
Your friend,
I'm planning on coming, Guru Maharaj.
your
Just pray
friend
for me.
Matarada will come. Okay,
Wow.
nice to hear from you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Guru Maharaj.
Anybody
Haribo.
else say hello?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Krishna Amrita. Thank you greatly for the class. Thank you.
Haribo, thank you. Nice to see you. Good. Anybody else say hello? Okay.
Hare
I'm
Krishna,
looking at
Guru Maharaj, Brajarade here.
Bharati, your last dressing of the deities was the best. The
Oh,
one I
thank you,
got
Maharaj.
yesterday. The best.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Especially how Krishna was dressed and it was beautiful. Okay.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else?
Maharaj, good to see you.
Samantha. Um, uh,
It's been a while.
my editor, I think next week, he has to do something with family. So I may send you something to edit, okay?
Sure. Be happy to. Thank you.
Okay. Nice to see you.
You as
Okay.
well.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Gurudev.
Jai Shri Radhe. Haribo. Where are you?
I'm at
Where are you?
home. I'm at home in Sayreville.
I don't recognize the wood background. What is that?
Oh, it's one of the walls in our bedroom. That's why you don't recognize it.
Okay, it's the confidential quarters that the Maharaj doesn't go. Okay, translate that for me, okay?
I will. I will send it to you as soon as it's ready.
I heard you're very attached to New Jersey.
I never knew until I left.
Well, it was hard to give up your pet donkey. I know that.
I know.
What was the name of your pet donkey?
Should they come up with the name?
Okay, I'm joking. Go ahead. Okay, anybody else? But translate that for me, okay?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm seeing all the list here of people. Okay. Vanchakalpa Tribhyascha.